All right, this
Okay,
I guess then is the official pre-show of the EVO closing webcast.
Yeah, and it is February 16th, 2014. It is 13 hours and 41 minutes Greenwich Mean Time. My name is Nina Liakos. I'm the lead coordinator of the Electronic Village Online. I'm here with Jeff Lebo, who is our Master of Ceremonies and General Troubleshooter. Today, thank you, Jeff, for being here again for us. And we are joined already about 20 minutes before official start time by about 10 other people, most of them who participated in the CLIL using technology for let's see, content and language integrated learning. I could never get that right. Content and language integrated learning. We have a bunch of people from that session, and we have Daniela Munca-Estenas, the lead moderator from the online projects for civic engagement session. And why don't we jump in and ask some of the participants that we have already to talk about CLIL. Not CLIL itself, but the session. What did you learn? How did it go for you? Was this your first EVO session? Whatever you'd like to share with us.
So please feel free to grab the mic. We had a interesting discussion going before we started the recording on some CLIL issues. So if anyone wants to tell us about that or what the most heated discussions were during the EVO, we'd love to hear it.
Hi, everybody. Yeah. This is Vance.
Hey, Vance. Good morning.
Hi. When I arrived, well, I uploaded the slides for one thing, and then I also found that there was only one mic enabled and only one webcam, so I've increased the number of microphones available up to 4. I figure at some point it gets a little bit noisy with echo, and then I also I think anybody can put on a webcam if you want, but I think that what you should do is if you're going to talk, you can put up your webcam while you talk. It's nice to see you. And if you're not talking for a while, you should probably switch it off. But anyway, nice to see everybody. Nina, you did a very good introduction.
Thank you.
Gave the date and everything.
Yes, well, I'm modeling myself after you, Vance. I even gave the time.
Yeah, that was one further than me.
Uh-oh, somebody's having audio issues. I think we have Giovanna Rivezzi would like to say something. Giovanna, all you have to do is click on the talk button. Jeff and Vance, do you have any suggestions for Isabella who can't hear anything?
Can you hear me?
Well, one suggestion is to use the Tools menu to run the audio wizard. So under Tools, you find Audio, pull down Tools, Audio. Audio Setup Wizard is the first thing that's on that list, and so if you run that, you can troubleshoot your audio. That's the best.
I'm going to put that into the chat because if Isabella can't hear, then she didn't hear that either. So who was the person who said, can you hear? We can hear. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's me. It's me, Giovanna. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I can hear you fine.
You can also see me, I think. Okay, fine. So what did I learn from this, course? The best thing is that there's a huge amount of online resources which is attached and which is very helpful, because I was talking before with the other before the session started. I was having a word with the other colleagues, and we said that here in Italy, CLAIR has become mandatory in line with some European directives. So we are, between inverted commas, obliged to teach CLAIR. And I am a foreign language teacher. I am not an English teacher. I'm not a CLAIR teacher. But I was asked by my head teacher to collaborate my art colleagues in preparing lessons. So last year, we started this adventure, this new experience. And at first, it was a bit awkward because, of course, I was not an expert in the field of art. And she was not an expert in the field of teaching in L2 either. So we worked together, and we have learned a lot from each other. And we have worked on YouTube and other, internet sites, which were very helpful. But it was a very time-consuming activity, though, because, for instance, when we watched videos, then we prepared the materials with true or false exercise, multiple choice exercises, and all that. So, of course, the experience of teaching a subject in English is very rewarding and it's very nice. But it is extremely time-consuming because we thought that there was not any material. But, I've been surprised to see that there is a lot going on. And not only that, there's a lot on the internet. And so I think that I will try to use, even if I'm a bit low-tech, I'm not very digital, but we will try to use all this amount of material which is ready to use. The only thing is that maybe there's the opposite problem. There's too much. There's too much. And so we need to make a selection, a choice. I forgot to tell you something, that I teach in the north of Italy. Sorry, I should have said it before when I started talking. So I teach in the northwest of Italy, in Aosta, which is near the highest peak of Europe, and it is Mont Blanc. And but I'm not from Val d'Aosta. I am from Naples, the area which is around Naples, and I've been here for 20 years now. I'm teaching for 12 years in high schools. Okay, yeah, it's all. Do you think did you hear me? Was I clear? If you want to ask questions, you tell me. Otherwise, I can also, shall I switch off? Okay.
Giovanna, you're clear as a bell. And my question is, you've discovered this wealth of materials online for teaching content along with language. And was that during the EVO session that you discovered those materials, that plethora of materials out there that you say it's almost too much to deal with?
Yeah, okay. But too much is better than nothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is something that I found out, I have found out during this course. And I have enjoyed the course very much because there are very few opportunities, very few refresher courses, or maybe even if there are refresher courses, it is very difficult to take part in them because we spend, as teachers, we spend too much time in the classroom. So we have no time to go around. And in my case, since Aosta is in a remote part of the country, we also have transportation problems. So this EVO thing has been a wonderful thing because I could update some knowledge and at the same time staying at home, which is wonderful. And then, as far as your question is concerned about this material, yes, of course. I didn't know that before I took part in this online course, And even if, as you said, it is too much, yeah, but it is important to be aware of what is going on. Because last year we started the CLIL experience, but we were not aware of what was going on in the country. I mean, in Italy and in Europe and all over the world. So that's why I'm learning very, very slowly, but I want to learn, because even if I'm a language teacher, I think that CLIL is an opportunity for us to, even as language teachers, to get the students to reflect on the language from our point of view as language teachers. We are aware of meta-language, and so micro-language, ESPs, these are all things which are worth being dealt with by the foreign language teachers as well.
Yay, Giovanna. Well spoken. And you say that you're not very techy, but you did just great. Just great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Is there anybody else here that would like to jump in early and talk about your experience with the EVO session that you took? Most of you are here from CLIL, but I think maybe some other people are starting to wander in from other sessions. Not sure. We have Alejandra, Callum, or is that Calum? Giochino, Ian, Isabella, Constantina. I'm jumping over the moderators whose names I recognize. Hi, Larissa and Mubarak. Great to see you here. We have Lucia, Oksana, somebody named Simulcast. Is there anybody else who would like to jump in and talk about your experience this electronic village online?
Okay, could I talk? Can you hear me?
Absolutely. Yes, Constantina, welcome. Καλώς ήρθες.
Thank you very much. Okay, καλώς σας βρήκα. I'm an English teacher from Greece. I teach English at a lower secondary school in southern Greece, in the Peloponnese, actually. Last year I started applying some CLIL in my teaching sessions. I thought that CLIL is very challenging, and I would try it with my students. And I was not mistaken, because my students were thrilled. They liked it. They liked the idea of learning something about a different subject in English, and this session would be continuous and repeated and stable, and they have to learn new things again and again and again. I introduced astronomy. I started teaching astronomy to my students. They are students of A1 to B1 level within the Common European Framework of Languages. So I had to adapt my teaching material to their linguistic needs. I prepare my own teaching material, and this is very challenging. I find it amazing. I like that. So I have the opportunity to address my students' needs in a way that everything can be applicable to them. This session, this EVO session about CLIL, has been very illuminating to me. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. I had the opportunity to learn how things about CLIL go around Europe and the world, maybe. but mostly in Europe because, you know, in some parts of Europe, CLIL is now a must in schools. More and more people engage in teaching CLIL, in teaching content. So I was very satisfied to be able to share my own experience with the others. I learned from the others, and this is very, very important to me. And what I found very interesting is that, you know, these asynchronous methods of teaching are very good for people who are very busy with their jobs, and they don't have time to move from one place to the other to attend seminars or, you know, workshops or whatever. So it is a great opportunity that you have to visit the platforms, these asynchronous platforms, anytime you like, and work with the material in your own at your own pace, in your own time, and you don't have to spend time moving around and around.
Is this your first such session, Constantina, online session that you've taken for professional development?
No. It is not my first one. It's not my first one. I have attended others as well, but
or through another organization.
Okay, for example, I have done my master's course online with the Open University of the UK, and now I'm attending a linguistics course on corpus linguistics at Future Learn platform.
And you make all your own materials. You don't sleep much.
Yes, I don't sleep much, that's true. That's true.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you very much.
We had, let's see, Lucia, I believe, that asked to speak a while back, and she sent us a link to a file.
Hi to everyone.
Is that you, Lucia?
Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
But what I can't do is find your file. Vance, have you got that?
No, it's not important for this moment because I like only to present myself, and I am a teacher of maths and physics in a high school near Milan, exactly in Cinisello Balsamo. And I'm happy to be here and to share with you on this great occasion. It's the first time for me to know many other teachers and to know a lot of things about CLIL, because I love to teach in a different way with my students. I love to share with them my knowledge and to speak with them in different language. Therefore, I tried in past to speak with them in English, but using different. Oh, sorry, I have shared a wrong document. I'm excited and thrilled because it's the first time for me. This is my lesson plan that I have written for the document for sorry, I did the wrong thing, but so I have learned a lot of things in these in all these webinars, and now I hope to use all these acknowledgements that I have learned, and I think that now I will teach in a different way. but I am attending a CLIL course to have a certification and to become official CLIL teacher. I think that I have to study a lot, and I haven't finished to work, to study, to share, to know many things. Thanks a lot for your attention and good work.
Thank you so much for sharing, Lucia. It warms my heart to hear Lucia say that she will teach differently from now on as a result of having participated in this session, and it makes all the work that we put into offering these sessions worth it. Who's up next? We don't have a sign up, so who would like to jump in? And when you jump in, make sure that you turn on the mic and turn on your video if you have video. If you don't have video, that's fine too. Hey, Vance.
Yeah, okay. I was just, Etienne Wenger once asked Christina Costa how she knew she was involved in a community of practice, and she said, when my practice changed. That was on one of our Web Eds in Action online convergences. So that was a good illustration. You know you're succeeding in communities of practice when your practice actually changes. So that's really good to hear.
Absolutely. I saw somebody's video there. I think somebody was ready to jump in.
I did too. Come back. I'll close mine.
We can have more than one video. Yeah, okay. Who is this?
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Daniela.
All right, just wanted to check my sound and video.
It's perfect, except your video is little. I don't know why.
Okay. Okay.
There you go.
All right, there you
go. We'll allow you to talk. I want mostly to hear participants today, if only because at the opening webcast, was it only 5 weeks ago? At the opening webcast, we didn't have time to hear participants. And also, I think participants probably have a lot to say today. But Daniela, go ahead, jump in. As a moderator, the moderator of, all right, let me see if I can remember the whole name. Mm-hmm. Online Civic Engagement Projects for EFL, in the EFL Classroom. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Vance, can you change the slide?
Civic engagement just because it's shorter.
Or I'll find it.
For the first time that we work as moderators, because in the past my colleagues and I worked as participants, as volunteers, co-moderators of other sessions. So EVO is a project that is dear to our heart. We've been involved with EVO for a long time, several years now. So it was for the first time when we could have this really big responsibility, moderating the separate session. Yes, that's our slide. We had 64 participants joining the session. Active ones, we had 45. For the first time, we used Google Plus communities, and I really liked the tool, and it was really easy to engage our teachers. It was really easy to organize our threads, discussion threads by week. So every week we had a separate discussion thread. We created a discussion thread to discuss technical issues and one to share from our participants' experience. So we were able not just to learn from the syllabus and from the wiki that we created separately. We learned a lot from each other, which is wonderful. This is what we love about EVO. It's a place where everyone can be a teacher, everyone can be a moderator. We had the opportunity to share links to wonderful projects that our participants had already implemented before they joined the session. So it was a fruitful experience, and we hope to have the chance to do it again next year. And then we'll see. I think I've seen some of our participants joining, so I will let them talk later on or whenever they are ready to share from their experience. So a great project, great participants, and you can see our map. We had people from all around the world, and we had a truly international team, and this is what makes EVO such a wonderful experience for all of us.
Yay, Daniela, thank you so much for sharing. I can see that I should have put these slides in alphabetical order, so they would have been easier to find. But anyway, who's up next? Who would like to grab the mic, share your experience? We're looking in particular for participants, but we will allow moderators also. Who was that right there?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, Alejandra. We can hear you perfectly. What session are you here to talk about?
ICT for ELT.
Okay, let me see if I can find them. You start talking.
Okay. Okay. I shared a Google Doc if you want to look at my very short presentation. Really, I learned a lot.
Do that.
Sorry?
I was telling Vance that I'll let him deal with the link.
Okay. Okay, there's the slide from this session. I'm having problems with the camera. I loved being a part of this session. I learned a lot. The moderators were great. I learned how to use a wiki to do a full class interactive experience. I designed a course on presentations with the wiki. I learned how to embed video in the wiki, how to use VoiceThread to share experience, my students' experience with me. I learned a lot about learning apps and other devices, to do quizzes online. I also learned how to use polls to encourage student participation. It really has been a wonderful, wonderful experience. Oh, here it is. Okay. Well, this was my short example, right? I created a lesson on presentations with my wiki. Then I use VoiceThread for my students to share their experiences as presenters. I embedded a video on presentation tips. Then here I made several activities on learning apps to cater for visual or auditory students, for all sorts of learning styles, because it's very versatile, the tools. And and finally they gave a presentation on Skype, my students I mean, and then they voted for the best presenter on SurveyMonkey. So I put everything I learned in these 5 weeks into practical use with my students. Thank you to these great moderators who helped me do that.
Alejandra, that is so exciting. Do we have any ICT for ELT mods who want to respond to that wonderful list of things that Alejandra learned how to do? Mubarak or Larissa or Jose Antonio, does anybody want to jump in there after Alejandra? I see Vance.
I'm sorry.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, who is that,
yeah,
please?
hello. I'm Mubarak. I'm Mubarak from Morocco. Hello.
Hi, Mubarak. Jump in.
How are you doing? Yeah, I'm very excited and very happy to participate in this session. Alejandra has already said a lot about our session. It is a great session in which several countries of the world were presented. Okay, we have participants from all continents. We concentrated on using the web tools to create content, and to communicate. We used for some weeks the communication tools, especially Skype with many conferences. We used Twitter. We also used PhotoPeach and Blogger, and of course Edmodo, which was an added value to our experience. We loved it a lot, and participants, let's say, enriched the experience of using it. We had a great team, especially all of us, of course, Ayat, Helen, G.A., Larissa, Maria, Svetlana, and one of the, let's say, hidden moderators, Fernanda, who did a great job in helping us. Teresa also was all the time omnipresent, though she was not really directly involved. So we are very happy with our, let's say, participants' achievements, and we look forward to continue our session, even though, let's say, EVO sessions are over. We will continue our group and our communication. We can have our help all the time available. So thank you very much, all of you, and I hope everyone would jump to add a word. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mubarak. So nice to hear your voice. Are there any other presenters out there from CLIL or Online Tools or ICT for ELT or any other session that would like to grab the mic and jump in? I see Teresa is here from Portugal. It's so nice to see you, Teresa, and I got your email and I will respond today. I hear somebody. BJ, Brenda.
Hello, this is Larissa. Can you hear me?
Hi,
Nina.
Larissa. Yes, I can hear you fine.
Nice to hear you. Yeah, hi, Vance. Hi, Jeff, Claire, and everyone from ICT for ELT. We have our two participants, Ali and Kaloum, here, and I just want to ask them to grab the mic and share your experiences with others, just after Alejandra, who did a great job sharing. So could you talk and share your experience, please? Thank you.
You can just click on the video, click on the mic, and jump in. Hi, Jenny. They're either having technical difficulties or they're shy. Hi, Lori. Good to see you here. You're right up the street from me. No problem, Jenny.
Yeah, I can't get the microphone to work. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Woohoo! Okay, great. Thank you.
So Jenny Farnell is here from Wonderful Words, Vocabulary Matters. She is one of the moderators, but we'll let her talk anyway. Go ahead, Jenny.
Oh, I don't need to talk anymore. I'm just I'm just really glad to be here. It's been an incredible 5 weeks of my first time moderating.
We have Brenda here with her hand up also.
Oh, great.
So I'll let you deal with that. Hey, Brenda.
Hello, can you hear me? Good morning.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. It has been a wonderful learning experience for all of us, participants and moderators. We've shared together and collaborated, and all of us have been enriched by the experience, and we want to thank all of the people involved with the program. It's very general, but it's
true. It covers it, Brenda.
That's great. That's great.
The other thing I want to mention is just that none of us actually, I should say none of us, Brenda and Ann, work together. I don't, quote unquote, know either one of them. I've never met them before EVO, and it's been a wonderful experience. Same with our participants, who I've not met, but I feel like I know some of them at this point. So I think that's one of the
you've
really
met them. You've just haven't met them face to face.
Exactly. So
it's been a great virtual experience.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that our team, we're in different locations. We aren't able to, even though Ann and I know each other, we've only communicated via email and these sessions. So it's been a different relationship.
I think that's actually more common than that in EVO. I mean, if you look at ICT for ELT, for example, I think not only these people all come from different countries and continents. They may have met at conferences, but they may not have. So I don't think your experience was unusual. That's the EVO experience. We are collaborating online with people from lots of different places. But it's very cool, and the most amazing thing that can happen is that when you meet that person face to face, if you ever do, it's such a special feeling.
I agree that it isn't unusual, but it was a first for us as a team, and we were very pleased with how well we were able to communicate in spite of not having that face-to-face contact.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. The internet is a miraculous thing.
Can we turn the mic over to someone else now?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you both for being here.
Yes. Teresa would like to speak. She has to go. So, Teresa, and then Seda, I think.
I'd like to say
Hello
while
there.
Teresa is coming in. Hey, Teresa, I just want to introduce you as one of the moderators, the coordinators, I should say, for the now defunct but heartily missed Becoming a Webhead, which is how I personally got involved with the Electronic Village Online back in 2006. Teresa is my mentor, my friend. I'm so glad to see her here today.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you very much for your very kind words. And it was a pleasure to run Becoming a Webhead with Daphne and so many others for 10 years. And the ICT for ELT team did a wonderful job. And I didn't follow the session as much as I wanted to because I was totally involved in the e-book, crafting the e-perfect e-textbook. I just call it e-book, EVO session for short. And it was an amazing experience because I have been working on an e-dictionary that I would like to publish, a pronunciation dictionary to help Portuguese students of English. And it's a dictionary that will bridge the L1 and the L2. This was something that came to my mind. I think in class at the end of 2002, beginning of 2003, and it worked very well for 6 years with my students until I retired. And so I was challenged to do this e-dictionary, and I wanted to learn a bit more about e-book design, e-book publishing, etc. And it's been an amazing 5 weeks, and Fernanda Rodrigues and I did a joint project. We came up with an e-book, the first chapter, for about learn or not to learn online. That is the question, about people learning with the help of tutorials, etc. And so it's been well received in the group. And we will continue. We will complete the ebook, and we'll let you all know as soon as it comes out. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say. I think all the moderators there did a really good job, and there were fabulous, fabulous colleagues. A lot of interaction and feedback and comments, and hearty congratulations on the work that everybody is producing. And I think that ebooks are a way forward in terms of the education world. So go for it. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Teresa. And I'd like to jump in here and say that our fabulous moderators who put so much into offering these sessions to English teachers and others around the world. It's a very, very time-consuming thing. I mean, as participants, you know that it took you a lot of time. Well, the moderators started a lot earlier with their proposals back in the summer. They attended a training session in October and November, and then they were very busy during the EVO running their show and participating with all of you, interacting with all of you. It's very rare that a moderator has enough time on the side to participate in somebody else's session. And Teresa is a perfect example of that. I think after 10 years of moderating one of the most popular EVO sessions we've ever had, Teresa was able this year to actually participate in this Crafting ePerfect textbook. And it sounds like she got lots out of it and enjoyed it. And I'm so glad she was able to do that. Who's up next?
I think Jada has her hand up.
Yeah, Jada.
And I'm going to cut back on the number of mics and see if we can eliminate the one that's making the noise. I'll do that in the background.
Okay. Yeah, perhaps we could say it's a good idea that if you're not speaking, you should turn off your mic and turn off your video. And I'm about to do that now. So Jada, I hope that you will jump in.
Can you hear me? Hello? Okay. Hi, everyone.
Yes, we can, Jade. I was just going to cut back on mics, so you'll have the only mic for a moment. Oh, well, the sound has disappeared, so it's fine. Okay, go ahead. I'll leave things as they are.
So I want to say that it has been a wonderful experience for me to moderate the session on mobile devices and applications that can be used in language classes. So thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to get into this group of webheads first, and then moderate this session and meet lots of people from all over the world. It was a wonderful experience for me. Thank you so much. I can say that as a moderator, I also learned a lot from the participants. In this session, we covered mobile apps that can be used in language classes. We also referred to the apps that are related with teachers' professional development. So actually, it was great that the participants had participants shared their thoughts on the ways to use these apps in their language classes. So we try to focus on the ways to use them. So I hope we could be successful at that. So we also the participants also shared their ideas on the future of mobile assisted language learning. So we discussed some articles. So the theory side was also aimed to be covered. So I think what I like most about these online meetings is the interaction side. So I think, yeah, I liked the interaction going on very much. I myself learned a lot from other people who talked about their own experiences, who introduced some new mobile apps I also didn't know before. So I think I also learned a lot from this session as a moderator. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. Yeah, that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jada. That was very nice. Okay, well, anyone else who's inspired to jump in? We're especially looking for participants in the sessions. We'd like to get the participants' point of view. That was our main idea. So don't think you have to be a moderator. Just come in and tell us how things went in your session, as Teresa did a moment ago. She was a participant in the EVO textbook session, the Crafting the E-Perfect textbook, which, by the way, I learned a lot from. I really like the way they used Google Communities as their sole portal. I understood and combined Listly with it, and that was kind of revelatory to me. So it was interesting to see the way other people set up their sessions and learn from those if you're interested in moderating online learning yourself. Anybody else have any impressions they'd like to share?
Me, if I can speak, you can hear me?
Yes, Isabella, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. For me, it's the first time for CLIL, and I'd like it very much. First of all, because it learned to me that the motivation is the most important thing in learning and teaching. And this motivation and also the learning should be natural. In particular, the extensive reading for me, it's a discovery word. And I learned that the overall and the specific language competence improves together. And this is the important thing for our students, to give them a good preparation for both study and working life. And also because it is important, because I learned that the task is important more than text level, also in English, and also for me that I'm not very good, not so good in English. So for me, CLIL was wonderful, and I hope to participate to other courses about it because it's very, very interesting. So thank you everybody, and see you next time.
Great, Isabella. Thank you so much for sharing that, and we're glad that you had a good session. And I see Ali Bukhmala would like to speak.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I participated in ICT for ELT session. Okay, I would like to thank all of you. You really introduced me to this digital world, okay, and you taught me how to survive in this world, okay. I learned a lot, and I am ready to share this. All I learned with my colleagues and my students, okay. I am really very happy because this is the first time I started a blog, okay, and I would like to thank Mr. Akhdar. He is from Morocco, and we are from the same city, okay. And I would like to thank also Maria and Larissa, who they encouraged me a lot, okay, and thank you very much.
Sounds like ICT for ELT was a great session. Thank you for sharing. I think we have some people here from Vocabulary Matters. Is anybody willing to jump in? for vocabulary matters, and I see, let's see, Susan and Brenda would like to speak. You can just jump in, take the mic.
Susan, if you can jump in, that would be good. Jenny and I have already spoken.
Yeah, you have numbers by your names, possibly. So if you can, or if you're number 2, you could take it in as well.
We just heard from number 2. Now,
okay.
Susan and Jose. Also, Jose took Dream Act. Susan was involved in young learners and also drama.
Hello, this is Leah. Can you hear me? Hi, everybody.
Very low.
Kind of hard
come
to hear.
Closer to the mic. And
I've taken the mic, but I don't know if you can hear me. A little faint, am I? Okay, let me get more.
yeah, if you had a headset, that would help too.
Very far away. Okay, I'll try shouting in my drama voice. Is that better?
Let's all mute our mics, and I'll reduce it. I'll reduce all the mics to everyone but Susan, so everyone else can mute their mic, and I'll reduce the number, so we don't get the echo.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Right, okay. Yes, we have our EVO drama this year, and I hope you can hear me. I still don't know if you can hear me. Please tell me if you can. Otherwise, I'll give the mic to somebody else. Okay. We had EVO drama this year. We had 130 participants. And we had some amazing, excellent, we can't really hear me. Yes, 130 participants, but we had fewer than that who participated really, really actively. We had lots of exchanges of a very high quality this year, especially from those who had been on sessions before, say last year or the year before. We tried doing hangouts, we tried doing chat, and I did 2 webinars with very few people attending. We think that next year what we've got to do is do a little technical kind of catch-up session right at the very beginning, because we drama types are very techy. Right, thank you, session leader, for writing that for me. The people who did take part produced fabulous lesson plans using drama techniques taken from process drama, particularly from Neelan's and Good, and collected those all together in a file for future sessions and for them to refer to. We also created 2 Padlet walls and definitions up there of what drama really is, and put up various exercises and comments about how the session was going. So we're quite pleased with our work. What we need to do now is explain to everybody how to turn those tablets into PDF. So again, it was a fabulous experience. I loved EVO. I think that we helped quite a few people to develop their ideas and be convinced that drama really does work in the teaching of English, which is our mission. And we have ideas for next year to perhaps going back to basics and helping people who are new to drama in English really find out how a drama lesson works. So going back to basics, looking at what drama really is, and seeing how you actually use it.
So that's as far as we got, and we're very happy with our experiences this year. I don't think there's anybody here on the session, but I'd like to thank all the participants for taking part, all the moderators for being great, and all the videos that we made, and the webinars and the chat. So thank you very much, EVO coordinators, for letting us do this again this year, and hope this will go great next year. Thank you. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you very much, Susan. Susan is a very inspiring teacher. She did a great learning together session with us. Her work with children is phenomenal. So anyway, let's see. Next, I suppose, Jose, sorry. Oh, Jose, sorry. I'm mixing you up with Jose from Brazil. Jose Rodriguez, our old friend, from Los Angeles.
Los Angeles is right. Yes. Yeah.
Would you like to say something, Jose?
Sure, folks. Good morning. They're not Jose from Brazil, but from LA. I participated in the Dream Act, what teachers can do, and our platform was the Google Plus community. And even though this has been, it was. Right now, it's a very busy time for me, just in my regular, 9-to-5 job. But it was great coming in and learning about, the Dream Act. And one of the new things for me is a start. It's something that I know I can participate in and help students locally. And using Google Plus, and the different features there, and that, even though our group was very small, it was very active. And I want to thank Lori and Anne and all the facilitators and all the other participants for the good experience there. And again, it's only a beginning. I think there's still a lot to do with the Dream Act and helping those students that are following their dreams in the U.S.
Thank you, Jose, for talking about Dream Act, what teachers can do. And I'd like to mention here that EVO sessions range in size from very small to very large. And I think it's terrific. It's kind of like being in a small class or being in a really large class. One advantage to being in a small class is that you have more opportunity to interact with the facilitator or the teacher in the case of a class. So I'm glad you had a very positive experience despite small numbers, and I hope that the Dream Act team will come back again next year. And this is not an issue that's likely to go away too soon. So we hope that they will bring it back to EVO next year. Is there somebody else who would like to grab the mic and share your experience in the EVO? We are about 31 people here, and there are a number of people that have not talked yet. Halima, Irina, Emma, Jan, I don't think was involved in an EVO session, but if I'm wrong, let me know. Hi, Letizia, I didn't notice you here before. And Jens, one of the moderators, is here. Roberta, probably from CLIL, my guess. Somebody from Mola Di Bari. Who would like to speak next? Just grab the mic, click on talk, click on video if you have it. Add your, yes, David, putting them on the spot. If you don't have a microphone, there's somebody. I'm leaving.
Hi.
Tilly. Hey, Tilly.
This is Tilly.
What session did you take?
I took Vocabulary Matters and the Second Life EVOs. And
okay, which one do you want to talk about first, and I'll find the slide.
Okay, Vocabulary Matters, I'm afraid I started off enthusiastically and I just couldn't keep up with both. So I was looking forward to the With IQ, but they took place on Saturdays, which isn't a good day for me. So they very kindly changed their last With IQ to today, and then they've had to cancel it. But hopefully they'll be able to reschedule that, and I'll be able to catch up and perhaps contribute, because I think I had probably quite a bit more to contribute than I actually managed to do. I got very involved in the Second Life one, but not as involved as my group mates, who were very, very active and creative, making machinima. Those are little Second Life video films, and I hadn't had any idea that that was possible before, and so it was very, very interesting to me. And I spent a lot of time on talking and working with my group. My family were a little bit despairing because I said, I've got another webinar, I'm sorry, I can't do this, or I can't put you to bed, I've got to do this. So I really enjoyed it. I think EVO is a fantastic opportunity. I teach ELT, a master's in ELT and ICT and multimedia, and I recommended to all my students that they take at least one session. And I have one of the students particularly found the Business English EVO very, very good, and he participated very actively. And it's all very much online and on topic to his master's course as well. So I don't know about the other students. I didn't really hear very much from them whether they were taking part, but to have this free training and free community available is really great. So thank you everybody involved who put it on, and we'll be back next year, I'm sure.
Thanks, Tilly, for sharing with us. I know what you mean about not being able to keep up in 2 sessions. I find it hard enough to keep up in just one, actually, when I'm a participant. And this semester, as a coordinator, I was on the list for 7 different sessions, and it was a big mistake because I couldn't follow anything. I'm not a good multitasker, and I need to focus on just one thing at a time, I'm afraid. So congratulations for trying, and I hope that the Vocabulary Matters folks are going to be back next year, so you could do that next year. And remember, everybody, that if you couldn't do a session, that many or most of the sessions leave all of their stuff up online, their wiki, their interactive space. So if you join it, you should be able to access those materials. Sometimes you don't even need to join it. With a wiki, you may not need to join it. Thanks again, Tilly.
Okay, thank you, and that's really good. I didn't realize that some of those materials would stay up, so that's good.
I think most of them stay up, yes. It's a problem if it's something like Edmodo, where you have to join the session in order to access the materials, or Moodle, but I think most of the wikis are just open. And you can always contact the administrators, the coordinators or moderators of the session, and ask them if they will allow you to access those materials.
Great.
Did you make a machinima?
Well, I got as far as slicing some audio together, and then I saw that some of my group mates had made some really nice versions of the same thing, and so I thought, well, I've acted, I've added voice, I've contributed a little bit, but I'm quite busy in my work, and I'm not sure I'm going to get the time. But anyway, I've picked up a lot of skills, and eventually one day. Famous last words, but I do hope one day to meet them.
Well, that's great. I could see myself in your position very easily, and I noticed in the chat that Jenny said that they hope they will be able to come back next year, and also that they're leaving their materials up online.
Oh, thanks, Jenny, and thanks for the changing of the time of the WizIQ. I'm sorry that it didn't work out this time, though.
Jens is mentioning that the film festival is going to be on February 28th. Jens, how are you going to share that link with the rest of us?
Jens, come on and tell us more about it. It's your turn now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
We can.
Okay, great. Hello, it's nice to meet you all here. Great. And well, we have the end of course party tonight here in Second Life, and we're still doing. Some groups are still doing the editing. There were about 4 big groups this year here, and we're going to have a big festival of the red carpet here, the 28th, so we have some more time for editing and voiceover, and that will be shared over YouTube. We have a channel there, so all the films will be put up there, and well, this is my 3rd time doing machinima. I started as a student for 3 years ago, and then I went into be a moderator last year, and this is my 2nd time, and we had about 200 registered. Of course, you know, with MOOC you have quite a big decline, and that of course also happened here. But we've been using Google Community, and that has been a great thing compared with the Ning and the Modo and so on. And at the same time, we were in Second Life, of course, using different stages there. We were organized in groups. We have also for beginners, never been into Second Life before, so we have actually 2 tracks, one for beginners and one more experienced. And they all joined in groups and worked and done some beautiful Google document for planning. I'm very impressed of the standard. And we were mainly moderators, about 15, so we took part in the group work and did some presentations, and it would be very, very hectic. But I think very rewarding. I just put a link in of one of the participants. She wrote about her experience. So, but we will put the YouTube channel around with links so you can see the films here very soon. Yeah, that's all. But it's a great forum here. I know you guys here become a kind of in the family here. I know how to enter the different things, Blackboard, and it works great, the technology. So thank you very much. Keep well. Have a nice day. Thanks from Copenhagen, Jens.
Thank you, Jens.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes.
Okay. Is that you said you're going to run the festival on the 28th of February?
Yes.
Okay. So would that be in conjunction with the SL Languages Conference, which is starting on that day?
Yes, exactly. That's right. That's a good point. That's yes.
You should tell us more about that.
I don't know all the details, but that would be like a kick-off at the same time. So it's a kind of combination. We have our festivals with the jury's judgment of the films and red carpet out and prizes and all that. At the same time, there's some prizes come from the new European machinima project called Camelot, which have a kick-off here for, well, this year here in January. And but this conference here is also having the kick-off the 28th, so that's right. And that would be in Second Life, and I mean, you can go to the Facebook side of it and see the program more. I'm not into the details because I've been very occupied with Machine EVO.
Yeah, that's the 7th annual SL Languages Conference. It was started, I think, by Gavin Dudney, well, 7 years ago, I suppose, or many years ago, and then Heike Philp took it over, and she's been doing it ever since, so several sessions. She's keeping it ticking over, so she's also doing another of her virtual roundtable conferences in April, I believe. So anyway, lots is going on.
Lots of things going on, but it's in Second Life, and it's going to be great fun with our small avatars and sharing things in a very personal way compared with the webinars. It's different. It's very...
Yeah, that's a very unique conference, a conference that takes place in Second Life, and it's all recorded out of Second Life. Sometimes they record it through Adobe Connect or simulcast it like Jeff is doing right now. I don't know, did we make clear that Jeff Lebeau is simulcasting this on weatherindaction.org/live? I don't know how many people are in the stream out there, but anyway, we're finding many ways to get our broadcasts across, and SL language is a really interesting one. So thanks, Jens, for telling us about Machine EVO. Yeah, glad you enjoyed it. Okay, but you don't have to stop talking. I mean, if nobody else talks.
I would try my video if you're able to see me now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it is. I mean, I will more or less doing demonstration. It's very time-consuming. With I mean, last year we ended up using Facebook. But in Facebook, you know, you can't find things in the end. And it's a great thing with Google Plus that you have the categories. So you can afterwards find things instead of it just disappear in the deep. It's working. At the same time, you have the other facilities with the Google Plus thing. You can have your Hangout. Most of the time we used Adobe Connect for screen sharing, and when you wanted to show a special software, we used very much Camtasia. So it's a great thing to enter Adobe Connect. It could be in some other platforms also, Hangouts, and then of course it's nice to have the recording of the session, so people can. I also heard here that people could go back and get information and see, because it's very time consuming. And actually next year I put a question about when will the evaluation table come out, because I mean today is official ending of the course of EVO sessions. When is the evaluation coming out? So because people start disappearing now.
I'm sorry, what was that?
When are we going to have the questionnaire for the participants? A kind of evaluation?
I should have sent that. I mean, I sent that to, let me tell you who. I sent that to one person.
Okay.
And let me find out who that was.
It might be Heike then.
Yeah, probably Heike.
Yeah, okay. Because...
Do you want me to send it to you, Jens, and then you can disseminate that?
Yes, because we have a moderator meeting here tonight for planning our festival, so we are all together here later today, and we are also having this end of session, end of workshop party later today. So it's great if you can send me the evaluation.
Okay, I sent it to Heike and Marissa. I didn't want to send it to too many people, but I'm going to forward it to you right now, and there it goes. Thank you, Jens, for disseminating that.
I don't want to take people's time here because some other one.
Well, we're hoping to hear from more participants, although we're happy to let moderators take the stage. Moderators have been on the stage for the last 5 weeks, and we'd love to hear from the participants.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why I don't think people from Machine EVO have been able to take part here today is because we have this party here tonight, and we are in the middle. The groups are in the middle of doing editing. It's always, you know, last minute, and we are not even going to finish it today. We have pushed it a bit, giving extra time so we can be ready for the real festival on the 28th. So people are very involved. I mean, it takes so much time to do the editing and all that. So, but I'm very impressed of the standard so far. So you could look forward. Yes.
Well, you know, we only have 25 people in the room here, and there were probably over 2,000 participants in the EVO. So it's not just the machine EVO people who are busy today. We understand that not everybody can make a live session, and there are some people watching the live stream at webheadsinaction.org/live, and I've invited them to come over and join us over here if they would like to speak. And who was that just jumped in? I willingly cede the mic.
Yes.
Who is that?
It's me, Halima.
Hi, Halima.
Yeah.
What session are you going to talk about?
Oh, I was in two sessions. The last 3 years, I'm focusing only on business English because in our country, there are so many colleges, like say, focusing on business English, you know. And I was even very happy to be invited to Graz, to next busy conference. Okay. Also, I am very happy that my new obtained knowledge in business English helped me also to be famous. What can I say about business English? It's good, but only people are from Europe and South America. It's not global English. I would like to see moderators from 5 continents because I'm very close to China and I see how Chinese speaking English. They're speaking English. Oh, David, wonderful. I will post my forum at Couchsurfing, and I would like to speak about Couchsurfing activities. I am moderating one forum at the conference in Graz. I would like to speak about creating and developing a rapport between potential customers and our guests to Uzbekistan, okay? You are always welcome. Uzbekistan is wonderful. I can show you something. Also, I will post my forum link. You will see how many people are even here asking how to come here, what is visa problem, how to speak here, how to visit bazaar, how to visit Samarkand, what girls I like, all questions. You know, of course, business English questions, what are prices, what are currency nowadays, what can we buy. All things we describe based on new obtained knowledge. And I hope that if I find sponsors to go to, sponsor and money is not a problem for us, only visa. We can go elsewhere in the world, but some stations, they do not sell knowledge, they sell hotels. Always they say, please visit our hotel for 115 euro per night. But if they know that I get only $2,200 my pension, they do not know our situation. Better to sell business English, branding, and see how do people compete with them. It is much better, I think so. In Uzbekistan, I like the idea of somebody who likes my idea of 10x. 7 subjects must be taught in English nowadays in Uzbekistan. Also, engineering, science, computer technology, chemistry, biology, all 7 subjects like in every developing country. And I try to make some pedagogical aspects of teaching. And now I have also read my letter from Wien. They make an extra conference only STEMX teaching. And I have written, if somebody would like, can also read and edit my document, like my potential report, presentation. Oh, David. Oh, thank you very much. I speak German. German is my first language. Oh, my Russian. Have you heard how I speak Russian? David, in our case, we say that I'm an Uzbek, but Russian, it's called the mother tongue too, because kindergarten, school, university, in the ex-Soviet Union. It was all Russian. Then I visited many times Russia. My son lives in Moscow, the first son. The next son, and he studied in Moscow, graduated from the best universities in Moscow. Russian is the second language. We practice the triple linguistic formula, also mother tongue, Russian and English. But I speak German. Would you like to speak with me German a little? Do you speak German? Sprechen Sie auch Deutsch? Nicht? Very. Wo leben Sie doch? In New Jersey, okay. Now, with English you will be not lost in Uzbekistan. Everywhere you go, you'll find many people understanding, speaking English. If you like my English, it is Uzbek English. But you can hear at my caravanserai how the guy with background education finance speaking English. Oh, wonderful. For girls we say Queen English, but I don't know how to say to young. The wonderful, yes. Nowadays, many years. Okay, everybody is welcome. Even you can come to Tashkent and stay at my home. I have a very comfortable home with all conveniences. In Sochi, well, who has this question? Can you give me a ticket? Would you like? It's very easy if you get money to go to Sochi. The flight to Sochi only 2 or 3 hours from Tashkent. Wow. Yeah, Sochi, all people like. Then thank you very much for organizing this event. And the next session it was session of my beloved Mr. Vance. I think this Vance is the king of all stations. Nobody can compete with Vance. Why? Business English is only at Adobe Connect. But Vance is working at many platforms. Adobe Connect is good, but Adobe Connect is only to speakers or moderators also focused. Nobody, even at the closing ceremony, no trainees was here heard. I wanted very much somebody will speak. Nobody. Also, people have no skills to go from trainees to speakers. But business says, if you make your shareholders not stakeholders, your business will be dead. Also, they must make somebody for next moderator, I think so. I don't know. And I am focusing on case studies. I have written some case study about relocation to Canada because my endorsement in LinkedIn is very good. I worked for Mercedes company and I worked in Europe in textile projects. Therefore, they said your endorsements are good, and he wanted to hire me. But don't forget, I am not so young. I say no. It was relocation. From, yes, but
okay.
It's new
trying to keep on the topic of EVO.
Yes. Then the best station is yours because not flooding information. The e-book not flooded. All things short in kids style. Kids me, yes, wonderful. Then I like it, your session very much. And I like it if you come visit at last Tashkent.
I came before.
Okay, it was all the year. Ambition. Moscow, Petersburg, it's Russia. Come to Uzbekistan, please.
We have to let other people. Tell about their sessions.
This year's business English was much better than before. Very good. 200 people. Wonderful description of classes. So many good ideas. Wonderful. Only one minus is that nobody spoke in Adobe Connect. It's minus. But this is it. We must create reports. We must go from visuals to auditory. What are results? People must see.
Halima, we have to let other people take a turn to tell about their sessions. So
thank you so much for sharing, Halima.
Yes.
Yeah,
wonderful. This was wonderful.
It sounds like Halima got a lot out of her session on developing business English teachers and has taken it more than one time. Thank you so much.
Input is very good. They must know. I teach human resources. Input, work in process, and outcome. They must demonstrate as outcome. What is outcome? How improve our accent? For example, I write very well, but I always afraid of my accent because my first language is German. Impress my English, I know it very well. But how to improve is the problem, okay? Therefore, thank you very much, dear Guru, Mr. Mbarak. Thank you very much. Where is Mbarak? Not here. Mbarak was my first beloved guru in the first. And thank you. You know that Mr. Jens gifted us his room, his virtual room. And all people are interested in that. And I had organized 5 events in that room. 5. For people.
Okay, thank you, Helena.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's let other people take the microphones too. We want to hear from a lot of participants.
I would like to hear Mbarak.
He spoke earlier. But
David, come.
Welcome to come back.
Yes. Vai fica te come. Okay. Tu Sashkin. Okay. Thank.
Okay. So, would anyone else like to talk about their session, the participants we have?
I think Irina wanted to say something, but anybody's welcome to jump in.
Irina doesn't have a mic, unfortunately. So she's going to just chat rather than communicate, unfortunately. She's having mic problems.
It happens.
What session was she doing?
Vocabulary matters. I'll find the slide.
Okay. What about Jeff LeBeau? What's he doing over there? He's probably just being a passive participant.
Jeff, are you passive?
Well, yeah, he's in New Hampshire, I believe. He's in New Hampshire now, and my cat wants to say a few words. Okay.
Hi, kitty.
Okay, so other sessions?
Let's see. Maybe Lori would like to come and talk about the DREAM Act. We had Jose Rodriguez talk about that a little while back.
Roberta,
Lori, do you have
here?
a mic? Yeah.
Roxanne?
Meow. Emma? We haven't heard from Emma. And Delene. Delene, what session were you in?
This is Lori from the DREAM Act. Can you hear me?
Yes, Lori, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lori.
Okay, maybe Lori is having a difficulty there. Irina? And Delene, do you have a microphone? Delene is doing some collaborations with people in the UAE here. She works at an aviation college in Taipei. So she's been in touch with our teachers, and I think her students are coming back soon. Do you want to talk anything about what were you doing in the which session were you taking in EVO? She has no mic. You could type it in. I'm interested to see what sessions. Actually, if you're in the text chat, you could type in the session you were in, and we could try to find someone who's talking about that.
Right. We also have a few people over at the live stream, who, including Holly, one of the moderators from drama, and a coordinator of the EVO. And Holly and a few other people have tried to get in over here and have been unable to do it. So we're really sorry about that. And if they write something in the chat over there, we would be happy to read it into the record. And some people seem to be in both places. And let me warn you that if you're in both places, you don't want to take the mic because there will be feedback.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Emma is over there saying hi. And Gora Juf from Vocabulary Matters. I see Jeff is checking that.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
well,
good.
Jeff is there, I think, and I'm sort of there.
Well, I suppose I could talk a little bit about Multimook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't. It's hard to tell what was going on in Multimook. We sort of deliberately left the barn doors open and encouraged people to participate in other EVO sessions and report back to us, and we tried to aggregate what they were doing. There wasn't a lot coming back to us, but we were participating also in RISO 14, Rhizomatic Learning 14, which is Dave Cormier's MOOC that was going on. I think some other participants were participating in some other MOOCs as well. There was something called Deep Learning happening. So basically, a MOOC, as you know, is an experience where you have hundreds or thousands of participants. And a couple of EVO sessions reached that status. Nellie's, if it's considered to be a course, she's, what am I thinking, open online.
Nellie's session had over 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, if it should be open, which means that you should be able to get the materials available. Actually, some of the MOOCs, like Coursera and other Coursera, all the X MOOCs that are, you actually have to, the materials may or may not actually be open and online. We were talking about that earlier here in the EVO sessions. You were saying that some people put their materials online for people to come in and access them as they like, and other courses might, for example, set up a Yahoo group where you have to be a member in order to see the materials that are put up there. So that wouldn't meet the test of open. So that's actually an interesting consideration. There was a session that happened earlier today, a few hours ago, that was recorded, a webinar series, but the recordings are only for members of. You have to be a member of that group in order to access the recording. Anybody can participate in the session, but so here again, that's not really open. So I'm sure that there are quite a lot of what. I guess it's because it's in. I'm trying to think what if it's into a Moodle, or you mentioned in Edmodo, for example. If you have to sign up to get that Moodle, then not everybody can get it. So that's the only. Yeah, but it's not that other people don't do it. It's just to be a massive open online course, it should meet all those 4 tests from a purist standpoint. But anyway, let's see. What about crafting the ePerfect textbook? Is that open as well? I mean, as far as I know, you can reach all the materials there.
Open. I mean,
yeah, I think so
open
too.
In the sense that it's free to join. Letizia has to leave. I'm wondering if she can jump in and say a few words about CLIL before she does.
All right.
Letizia, do you have the time? And then we come back to you, Vance.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Letizia was one of the moderators for the CLIL session. Letizia, there she is. but she's frozen.
Yeah, that happens. Maybe give her a moment. She'll pop out and come back in or something like that. Network connection, network glitch. Maybe I'll just continue for a moment about crafting the ePerfect textbook. I believe that had, I don't know how many participants. Do you know offhand? Hundreds? Thousands? There she is. There's Leticia.
No?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Leticia. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I was frozen. So yes, just say, okay. So I just want to say thank you. Thanks for this great opportunity for Danielle and I. It was really an enrichment to share our experience with all the participants we had. We had about 120 at the beginning, and so it was just great enthusiasm for us, and the most interesting thing was to share experiences from all over the world, because we had participants here from global perspectives, of course, the CLIL, and we discovered how
Okay, maybe she'll come back.
I just want to mention there, as you know, as the mentor of that session, I was signed up. I wasn't able to attend a lot of things, but they had so many webinars, like several every week. It was really impressive. I was so amazed that Daniela and Leticia, working really on their own, were able to put this session together. It was really professionally done. Very, very impressive. And I think we can see some of the enthusiasm from their participants, because if you look at our list of people today, I think half of them were participants in the CLIL session. And I'd like to welcome Nelly from the magnum opus of Moodle for Teachers, and Diana from Croatia. I don't know what session Diana was in. Bye, Mubarak, thank you for coming. Leticia, are you coming back? Emma writes, great job, Daniela and Leticia, and I have to second that. Vance, you want to continue about multi-MOOC, or shall we try to get Nelly on stage, or Diana?
I just looked up the number of participants in crafting the ePerfect textbook. They have 571 members in there.
Big.
Yeah, and so they're definitely a MOOC. And maybe some others, but maybe this is a good time for Nelly to jump in. Unless Leticia
Nelly, do you have your mic?
Of course, Nelly is doing all kinds. She's conducting an all-month Moodle MOOC, and that's on top of the one she just had at the beginning of February, the week-long Connecting Online. That was the fourth one that she did, or no, 2014. This is the third Moodle MOOC. So anyway, she's very active, and all of her conferences are free, and all the materials are up there, especially Connecting Online. That she has sessions from 2011, I think. So it would be the fourth one then.
I don't think Nelly ever sleeps. Nelly and Heike seem to do so much. I feel like I'm just a normal person. I have to sleep, I have to eat, I have to go to work. Because of Nelly, all my colleagues are dreaming about Moodle.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, Nelly. Yes, welcome.
Hi, I was afraid that I missed it. I'm glad I didn't miss it.
Nope.
I am just overwhelmed by I think it's not only English language teachers, because apparently, I don't know where people found out about Moodle for Teachers EVO for 2014, because people from everywhere, and not English teachers, but math teachers, you know, from you know, every you know, there it is, every kind of school, for example, K-12, K-18, K-20, from businesses. I had administrators, people interested. I don't know where they came from, basically, but it was like, you know, a stampede, you know, into the course. And luckily, Tom Hodgers, I don't know if he's here right now, who has been coined the policeman. Thomas, that's right, Emma. Thank you for putting that in. Yes, it's the bad cop, you know, the good cop. So I'm like the good one, and he's the bad guy, the policeman. So everybody has basically learned so many skills, and I think Emma could probably vouch for it. It's been amazing, and we don't want it to end. Okay, Vance, you talk about CO14. It started in 2009. What I'd like to do, which is going to be completely different from what I've ever done in the past, I'd like to archive the Moodle for Teachers so that teachers can go in throughout the year before next year's, hopefully, you know, EVO for 2015 and the Moodle for Teachers. They can go in, take a look, you know, as guests. They don't even have to enroll in the Moodle. Just go in, take a look, and you know, and basically take what they can, which is exactly what Vance, if I heard you correctly, you know, it's exactly what you were referring to in the fact that it's open. And yes, Moodle can be open. It's not only open source, but it can be open in the sense that you can go in as a guest, you know, take a look, get what you want, even copy what you want. In other words,
that's open as long as there's no.
Yeah, sorry.
There's no password protect. I'm sorry. That's open if people if it's open without a password and anybody can go in as a guest.
Yeah, no need to create an account even. You know, Moodle allows that. You don't have to create an account. Okay, you can't participate. In other words, you can't join the discussion forum. Well, it's dead anyways. It's just going to be an archive of the course. And I'm going to take people's comments and things out. So it's not going to be, nobody's name is going to appear there because I don't think that's fair, you know, to have people's work in the course. So it's going to be without the participants. It's going to be just the, you know, the content, and that's it. So I think that's something that people can take with them, and they wanted it. You know, they kept asking, well, you know, what can we take? What happens when it ends? You know, they can take it with them. And others can come in and, you know, learn what they want or try to remember the good old days of 2014. It's been incredible, absolutely incredible. And the numbers are over 1,300.
Yeah. Nellie, I noticed in the live stream chat you mentioned that you're having an event on the 22nd, I think. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think it's the 22nd. If I'm not mistaken, I have my dates right here. But I think it's 22nd.
And also to put your link into the chat so that people who want to go in as a guest and learn from that are able to find it.
Yeah, where can we do that besides in this chat box?
I think in the chat box is where you should do it.
Yeah, but it's going to get lost kind of thing, isn't it? Let's see. Moodle for Teachers, EVO. I'm trying to...
I don't have a better idea.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't planning on doing this, so let me see if I can get it. In any case, the event is a showcase. By the 20th of February, everybody has to upload a 2-minute, either a YouTube video, actually MP4, MP3, or a PowerPoint presentation of what they've learned.
On what?
Anything, you know, it's open. What they've learned, what they gained, you know, reflection, anything. You know, I didn't want to limit them to say what you learned as such, but, you know, not just the content, but it's up to you, whatever you want to showcase as something that you're going to take with you, or what you don't want to take with you. It doesn't really matter. 2 minutes, so people are really hurrying up this week. That's what they're going to be doing. They're finishing up. They got badges, no certificates, of course, but I think Letizia was also able to get badges. So a lot of participants took both courses, so they're really happy. I have 9 badges, you know, because it's 5 badges from Moodle for Teachers EVO 14, and I think 4 badges from the Clear course. So people are going nuts over their badges. Which is amazing. You know, it drove them crazy. They literally did not sleep. You talk about Tom not sleeping or my lack of sleep. The participants didn't sleep. I mean, these are people that go to work, and they kept saying, we go to work, we have our families, but we're in there because we want those badges.
Now, what's an example of one of your badges?
Just a badge that I made up. You know, I created it myself. I don't think there's anything special about the badge, but just the fact that you get a badge.
No, I don't mean what it looks like, but like what were the badges for?
For the work, for the assignments that they had to do. They had to read. It's for reading. It's for responding. It's for doing. Okay, so they had to read a lot. I mean, a lot of. It was really an exercise in reading, and there Emma saying it. It's an exercise in following instructions and reading what's there and following what you're supposed to be doing. It was it was fun. It was, you know, and then as I said, you know, Tom was the policeman. If you didn't do what you were supposed to do, your work was moved to the support form. In other words, you didn't get your badge until you did everything right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a great lesson for many of us, because we expect our students to follow instructions, to do what we expect them to do, and so on. And, you know, we need to practice some of that too, including myself, of course. You know, I'm terrible at following instructions. But it was a really good thing, you know. It really put everybody in their place. And I think there was a lot of skills. So this 20 seconds, so by the 20th, they have to upload a 2-minute, as I said, showcase of what they did. And that's what we're going to do. It's going to be an hour and a half of showcasing everybody's work.
And what kind of participation do you expect to get out of your 1,300 people? How many people were really active in the session? Because in EVO, it's pretty typical.
Sorry, I shouldn't say that.
It's pretty typical to have more people signed up.
Yeah, hundreds are literally going nuts. And by the way, those that are not, I mean, Moodle does this and has a tracking system. If you're not, you know, doing anything for 3 weeks, you're out. So people wanted to get back in. They were thrown out. So we want to get back in. Okay, we'll be good. We'll do our work.
Does that happen automatically, or do you set it to do that?
Automatic. They get a warning, a 7-day warning.
No kidding.
And then you get people excuse, oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I have family, I went on a trip, I did this, I did that. Can I get back in? I want my badges. You know, it's just amazing. It's amazing because it's fun. You know, the badges and the whole thing is a lot of fun. And I think that's what it's all about. MOOCs are about having fun and, you know, learning at the same time, or, you know, getting some kind of, you know, skills. I would call it skills because it's not really content, but it's practicing. A lot of practice. You know, they practice as students, they practice as teachers with editing rights, and they practice as managers. You know, I would have made them administrators because they were that good. And they could be trusted. I mean, they followed, like, it was just amazing how people became so committed, you know, to doing their tasks. So this could only happen in EVO, I'm telling you. I've never seen anything like this. And every year I see something similar. I see the motivation is just so high. It beats any face-to-face high school or, you know, college, university. You don't get that.
I guess teachers are professional learners.
They sure are. It's a pleasure.
Or they should be if they aren't.
They are. They truly are.
And now, a word from our web streamer. As that's because Jeff has to go. He has to turn off the stream, and we just wanted him to say goodnight to us. So we'll just interrupt for a moment. So that
this
Jeff
event is being recorded, Giovanna.
Yeah, I'm sorry to have to step out before the finish line, but we are off to visit my nephew at university, and so I had to step away from this session as well to shovel the driveway and chip away some ice to rearrange the cars. But one of the great things about EVO is there's always so much that happens, even if you're paying attention 24 hours a day, you never catch everything. But there are so many archives that I use as a reference throughout the year that I will very much look forward to going back and checking out all the stuff that has been done. As always, a pleasure to be involved. Thank you for including me, and I'll look forward to EVO 2015.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Yeah, well, we certainly appreciate your taking the time to not only bring our session in 5 weeks ago, but to help us send it out and to contribute your skills of webcasting, going to the trouble of coming here with a simulcaster. He's a split personality today. He's Jeff here, and he's also a simulcaster. The simulcaster goes into streams it basically. The simulcaster comes here and streams it out to YouTube. I don't know. Do you want to explain anything about that, Jeff, or are you in a big hurry?
I'll just say that you can do what you do with a Google Hangout on air using something called YouTube Live, which lets you capture your screen and stream it out. There's a little trickiness to it, but it's gotten much more doable. And you can see it in EVO, how many more live sessions there are and how much more painless that has become. And so this session it's being streamed on YouTube now. As soon as it's done, that archive will be available shortly thereafter, and we'll post that along with the chat logs and everything on webheadsinAction.org. And to people who are listening to this the stream's going to cut out in just about a minute. So thanks to everyone who's hung out there and chatted and had a little side session there. So it's been great, everybody. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the closing, and we'll look forward to connecting again soon.
Okay. Thanks again, Jeff. Really appreciate it. Good to see you again. Okay. Back to Nellie. Sorry, you see, we were looking for a juncture, but we didn't mean to cut you off entirely. Are you still there?
I'm still here. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of calls here. Disconnected.
Have you got a video?
I mean, you can go on talking forever. I think I mean, that was the right, everything's ringing here. I think that was, that's basically what I had to say. I'm also going to, just as you are, you're going to be presenting at the Moodle MOOC 3. I'm also going to be speaking about my experiences with the with Moodle for Teachers EVO 1.4 on February 20. So you'll have a chance to get there too. So yeah, Moodle MOOC 3. You can also Google that. Apparently everything can be Googled these days because it has really a pretty good rating. So just Moodle.
Tell us a little bit about it, because it's going on. Was connecting online a part of Moodle MOOC 3, because they happened at the same time?
Yeah, it just happened. Yeah, I hope. Yeah, it's just been a crazy month and a half. No, actually, they're completely separate. Connecting online is generally at the beginning of each month, February, the first weekend of February, starting 2009. And it just so happened that this year, because the Moodle MOOC is 3 times a year and it's in February, that it was the CO14 turned out to be in during the same time, but actually no, they're completely separate things.
But there were sessions in Moodle MOOC 3 going on while separately from CO at the same time, simultaneously?
You want to know my life? Well, yes. I was up 11 hours moderating the CO14. I'm embarrassed to say that I do everything by myself because I think that things should be collaborative. But when they're not, you do it yourself. So yes, I was up And it was a lot of fun. You know, Nina said normal people. You know, I'm amazed at how much a human being can do and survive. You know, we are really, really more incredible than we give ourselves credit for. So staying up for 11 hours, 10 hours, and moderating, you know, hour after hour after hour is possible.
Wow, yeah. That's one reason I started doing learning together week by week, was to avoid having to do any more webheads in action online convergences, because just I did them 3 times, 3 72-hour sessions, and they just wiped me. Boy, that's incredible what you do. But you do get a lot of support from WizIQ, which is good. And
yeah, especially now. This time they were really amazing. I mean, they actually call people up to make sure that their systems work, and they also Skype them, so you get ongoing support. Yeah, they've been incredible with the support, the technical things. So, you know, actually there aren't any. And there's also a WizIQ desktop now that's much faster and takes less bandwidth for people from around the globe, so it's a lot easier. Yeah, it's, as I told you, Vince, it's great to be part of a program that really wants to improve for educators, you know, for teachers, educators, and, you know, you're making a difference by, you know, commenting and sending your feedback, and the system just gets better and better. So I think that's also a good thing about WizIQ that I didn't find with other organizations. But if they're out there, I'll join them and I'll try to work with them as well. So yeah, WizIQ has been very supportive, and actually, you know what? It wasn't that hard because of technology. You know, we keep saying technology facilitates and makes our lives easier. Well, it is becoming a lot easier because of technology. You know, it's like, and I also recorded using Camtasia, and this is probably the last time because WizIQ is going to have, you'll be able to download all the sessions, MP4s. I'm not sure about MP3, but at least MP4. So I won't have to use Camtasia to record. But everything's becoming easier and easier. So technology is getting better. I mean, think back, you know, 10 years ago, what we had and what we have today.
It's amazing. I mean, this abundance is just overwhelming. So, you know, I mean, we're almost like radio and TV now. You know, it's that much. Yeah. I mean, you think of the number of channels that you used to have. And you have now, you know, and it's something that we kind of take for granted, but this is almost happening in education. You know, the MOOCs that are kind of taking place of the brick and mortar. I mean, you know, I should say, the role of the brick and mortar in some cases, not in place of them, of course, but you know, they're actually people. As you can hear the enthusiasm of the people who have come to and given presentations here, or just talked about what they're doing. That the people who don't sleep in your sessions, you know, they're really passionate about learning. They want to learn, and you know, they weren't getting that at the community colleges. So now they've got a place to go for it.
Yeah, some of them are saying they've become addicted. Help! We need more. What's going to happen when it ends? You know, what's going to happen when it ends, Vince? We want more. Mm-hmm. More. Nellie, more. We're addicted.
Nellie's going to sleep.
You're so sweet, Nina.
Well, I just can't imagine your life, Nellie. That's all.
Believe me, I sleep. But I have a husband who took up cooking and baking, and he's really good at it. So
out of a sense of survival, self-defense.
He wasn't eating.
No, it's just a hobby, you know, in addition to the 12 hours that he works out of the house, you know, so.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the days are getting longer, don't you think? Like, it's not 24 anymore. I think it's closer to what, 30 hours a day?
I think mine are scaling down to around 20, 21, 18 maybe. I don't know.
Anyway,
I see that Tilly and Jenny both have their hands up, and maybe they can just jump in and join the conversation. click
Go
on
ahead,
talk.
I'm going to mute my mic.
Okay,
I want
I'll
to
go ahead
thank
and
Nellie for
move off the stage.
an absolutely extraordinary and outstanding job moderating M4T with that number of people and a shrinking team of moderators. She and Thomas really carried the burden here, and I'm in awe. Thank you, Nellie. Cannot thank you enough.
Hi, this is Tilly, and
Hi, Tilly, again. Nice to see you back.
I didn't know my hand was up, but anyway, I'd just jump in there and say, yes, I tried to keep up with Nellie's EVO last year, and I got it directed into my email. And when I'd got about 530 emails to read, I thought, I just don't know if I can, So I'm afraid this year I was tempted, but I thought I'll try something that I think will be a little bit smaller scale. And even then, it was hard to keep up with both of them. But I think the fact that things are available and people can go back at their leisure and look at things is great. And one day when I've got loads of time, I'll go back and I'll take Nellie's course, because I think it's very useful, and there's always something to learn. I'm using Moodle and learning a lot and enjoying using it, but I probably could have benefited a lot from Nellie's course. But as I say, I I had to bow out of it last year because it just was too much along with a full-time job.
Well, I think that Nellie has said that you can go in and just do bits and pieces, as a guest. So there's probably a lot to pick up that way. And thanks to Nellie for generously providing that access.
Yeah, so right.
I'm one who just, I can never do more than one EVO session as a participant. I can't do them justice. After March 8th, Nellie says. Jenny?
Hi, this is actually going back to something that was said quite a bit earlier about leaving the EVO sessions up and accessible. And someone, I'm sorry, I don't remember who, mentioned that they were going to leave everything up, but then take the participants' names or work off of it so that they weren't sharing their learning experience. I just had a question about that, because we had some participants who did some amazing projects, and we had thought that it would be good to let their recognize their contributions and their projects, and let anyone who goes in there see some of the incredible things that they've produced. Is there any kind of standard on that, or is it?
I would just ask them.
Okay.
I'd ask them if it's okay with them, and I think tell them that you think that it would be a great example. It's going to make them famous, if anything, not infamous.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. Vance, do you have any other thoughts on that? Maybe Vance stepped away from the mic.
Okay. That was sort of my thought. I think that it just would be a shame. There was so much contribution above and beyond what we had initially as moderators brought to the session.
That's wonderful.
That it would be a shame to lose that, especially since some of the projects, many or most of them, were so well done and really introduced some new technology that we hadn't included on the original list. So, and some great examples of how to use it in classes. So.
That's also a great example of EVO and how it works at its best, that the participants have a chance to be teachers and the moderators have a chance to be participants and learners.
Absolutely.
And it's one of the things we love about EVO, because you never know who's going to sign up for your class. It could be somebody who has more expertise than you do in a particular area. And we all learn together.
Yeah, there were some amazing things that participants ended up with in their final projects that were absolutely nothing that started out with the EVO session or the wonderful word session, but that are great tools, and I can't wait to take a look at them and see how I can use them, and I know some of the other participants felt the same way. So, all right, thank you. That was my only concern.
Thanks.
I'd like to add to that. On Moodle, when you archive courses, you can have a choice. You can either keep the participants' work, but it's not only work, it's their questions, and they put a lot of themselves out there in the support forums or in different forums. So some things are really personal. So I kind of worry about that, and I don't think that it's a good idea to have that. But as far as projects and things like that could stay. That's not a problem.
Right, right.
I understand.
I wouldn't keep discussions as like, you gotta put people's discussions out there, for the world to see. It's kind of.
So do you have an option, Nellie, to keep the projects up and kind of mute the discussions for guests?
Yeah. The projects are on YouTube anyways. We've added it to a playlist, so everybody's work, because basically they've been doing a lot of work. Actually, what they do is they work with Screencast-O-Matic, MoveNote. They've been using MoveNote and recording themselves and their work, as well as Prezi and things like that. So these things are public anyways, so that's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. But not the discussions, that's what I meant.
Right, okay.
Discussions. That's too personal.
Okay. Thank you, Nellie.
Yeah, sorry, I was moving to the kitchen, and I disconnected my mic when invited to this discussion. See, maybe I can show you my kitchen. Yeah, here we are. Oh, nope. Yes, there we are. I'm in the kitchen. Anyway. Dave Cormier, I'm not thinking of the rhizomatic learning that he's doing right now, but in some discussions he makes some really interesting points about how in his classes, and he's teaching at the university, this comes up about whether or not, how open can you really be, and he is very articulate about arguing that educators have to get used to, in blogging, or I understand that some, if it's not understood from the outset that your that your forum posts are going to be public, maybe it's not a good idea to put them out there, especially when you have the ability, as do when you archive Moodle, to remove participant data. But on the other hand, you could also start your course with the understanding that this is going to be public, and the reason it should be public is that this is the way educators communicate nowadays. This is the way they extend their knowledge. It's a matter of knowledge. I'm worried what the cat's going to do. We're going to make an opening for him. Anyway, it's a way that educators discourse. It's part of their discourse. It's part of the way that knowledge is propagated throughout networks is different nowadays, and that kind of thing needs to be practiced at least by his students. That's what he feels the students in his classes need to get used to, and that's what he's trying to inculcate in them, is this idea of joining discussions and making that like one of the weeks of his rhizomatic learning MOOC right now is called Community as Curriculum. So basically the idea that the community makes the curriculum. It comes from the community and not so much top down. So these are kind of interesting ideas, that you could also take into consideration when you consider whether or not you include student work. But then again, you might make that clear to them from the outset, that if you participate here, this is an open forum.
Yeah, I agree. People need to know from the beginning what's going to happen to their speech. Yes, and Kathy Davidson also. I'm taking a MOOC called The History and Future of Higher Education with Kathy Davidson. And it talks a lot about these things and multiliteracies in particular. Arrivederci, Giovanna. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with Wex that what Tilly learned, what works and what doesn't in online communication is a very important lesson. Coming down to the wire now, about 10 more minutes. Do we have anybody out there with a mic who would like to join in the conversation? Or have we heard from it? There's Josephine. Is that Gora from the other, from the live stream? Gora, do you have a microphone, or would you like to write into the chat what you have to say about your session? I don't know what session you took. Josephine? It's very quiet. This is your chance. Silence from Senegal. How about Roberta from Ancona? Or Maria, just says Italy? Would anybody like to join in?
Well, perhaps I'll just follow up what I was just saying in the chat there, because you know, I'm not, in my everyday job, I'm not using Adobe Connect or Blackboard or we have WebEx every day, but I do perhaps use it, you know, need to use it like 2 or 3 times a year. And but the more you use it, the more you realize that it's fraught with difficulty. And the first times you use it, that you kind of it can really be off-putting, and you can imagine how somebody thinking, oh, well, is this the future of learning, that we have to worry about sound, and we can't hear it, and we can't see the slides, we can't, all those sorts of problems. But I've been very impressed with the way the experienced moderators calmly take it on board, and they usually know how to sort people out and how to advise, you know, the way to get through those problems. And I think that, you know, that's been one of my lessons, is how to learn from them, you know, how to keep calm, don't panic. I mean, we were having in Second Life, we had Second Life going on and then Adobe Connect at the same time, and sometimes there were bandwidth problems, and you know, Second Life is very bandwidth hungry, and so you were having problems with people's avatars disappearing. You know, it's quite unnerving. You're talking to someone and then, you know, their computer sort of doesn't let them get through. But so I think, you know, in a way, technology still has some way to go to make it really a smooth and comfortable experience. But I think it's getting better, and the more experience you have, the better you get, I think, and the more you feel that it's worthwhile. Because I think for some teachers, it's just like, well, sorry, but that sounded so awful. Forget it. I'm never going to try that out again. You know. So yeah, I don't know if some of you experienced people have come back about that.
Yeah, I agree, and it's amazing how far things have come. Do you realize that it was only in 1993 that the internet became a public resource, and how much has happened since then? Sometimes it feels as though we've always had it. And what did we do before Google?
Yeah, I think what helps people is the connection to other people, and I think that's the exciting thing. You know, what people love in the EVOs is the community. They discover themselves part of a community, and the moderators have a great, you know, a role to play there to sort of make people feel valued, and I'm sure, you know, I mean, Nellie's a really experienced person in that respect, and so yeah, and in Second Life, you know, it's really quite there's a lot to learn just to survive, just to kind of move around there. So it was great to have such experienced people running it and helping out and keeping calm, when you feel a sense of rise. I mean, I found myself spinning uncontrollably and unable to do anything, not even able to sort of quit. And I thought this feels like a nightmare, but I stuck with it anyway because and it was quite amusing really, because it was just, you bring it on yourself when you go into something like Second Life. But I liked the community very much, and I feel that was what was really the great thing, was to meet people and connect with other teachers, and hopefully that's what my students will be able to get from it as well, is an enhanced network of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well said.
Before Google, we used to walk in the sand, visit neighbors, read books,
go to the library.
Take time out for, take lots of time to do things. So things are a little bit more hectic now, but much more productive.
I'd like to read Maria Rita's contribution from the chat. She doesn't have a microphone. She writes, EVO is a great opportunity for professional development. The moderators are always great teachers and fantastic people. Hear, hear. You never leave an EVO session without having learned a lot of new things and met fabulous, enthusiastic teachers. Yes, well said. Thank you, Maria. It's amazing what people are willing to share. They don't get a penny for it. They get a lot of grief for it. They have the coordinators chasing them down on one side and the participants chasing them down on the other side. And, they do it for the joy of it.
Nina, not to change the topic, but I think Irina might have something to contribute.
Sure,
her hand up.
Irina, sorry.
Yeah, Irina, you've got your hand up there.
Oh, yes. Irina, can you take the mic? Irina Kuznetsova? I'm not sure if Irina has a mic, because I think she wanted to speak earlier. Irina. Was Irina in Vocabulary Matters, Jenny?
She was, yes, and I know she mentioned earlier she didn't have a mic, but I see her up there now with her hand up, so I thought maybe her mic had been fixed.
Maybe she solved that problem. Or, well, somebody's typing, and I can hear it. So if that person who is typing just talks, I think we're going to be able to hear you.
Oh, Irina's mic still not is connecting. Irina,
sometimes it takes a few minutes.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, Irina, do you want to jump into the chat? You can type down the bottom. We can see your comments.
And we can read them out loud.
Nina, I think the typing was me. I'm multitasking here. Sorry.
Okay.
Usually I turn the mic off, but
no problem. I'm a very bad multitasker, but I'm always trying to do it.
I'm attention. I'm ADD, so I usually have 5 things going at one time. Not necessarily well, but 5 things going.
We have 1 minute left, guys. Does anybody want to jump in here? How about Emma? Emma, you've been here for the whole webcast, and we'd love to hear from you. If you have a mic. Irina, you can write your comment into the chat. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank those of you who came today and those who are listening later, and to remind you that if you would like to offer a session in the next EVO, that the call for proposals goes out at the beginning of June. And we just need to know who you are so we can send it to you. And the call for participation will go out in the middle of December. Sessions begin the second week in January and go for 5 weeks. And if you had a great experience in 2014, we hope you will be back in 2015 as a moderator or as a participant. We would love to have you. It is 1600 GMT. I'm going to sign off. This is Nina Liakos, coordinator for the EVO 2014. See you next year. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to Vance. Thanks to Jeff, who's no longer here, for helping us out with the live stream. And Vance, I will let you close us down. This is February 16th, 2014, and it is the closing webcast for the Electronic Village Online 2014.
May I say something at the very end? I wanted to say that, Nina, you're an inspiration. I think that what's different about this year is you. And I think that says it all. So I really want to thank you for everything that you've done and for motivating the facilitators and the moderators and whatever you want to call us into being very calm. You know, your calm attitude is addictive. You know, it just kept us, you know, focused. So that's why I could do what I could do, because of you, dear. So thank you.
That is the nicest thing anybody has said to me in a long time. Thank you, Nellie. If I can inspire Nellie, that's an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, when you when you rose to the call, I should say, probably that was the TESOL conference, the last one. You seemed very unsure, but very brave, because you were going into something you didn't quite know you had a handle on. And
that's for sure.
You kept asking questions. You kept persisting. You made people help you, which is, you know, what you need to do. And of course, people did help. And so it was a good modeling of the way EVO should work. And you've risen well to the challenge, and you've done a very good job. So I'll bet you're going to go, what are you going to do now? Are you going to get a lot of sleep, or are you going to go walk the cat?
I don't have a cat.
Take a few days off.
No, actually, I'm in a MOOC. I'm in this MOOC through Coursera with Kathy Davidson. It's called The History and Future of Mostly Higher Education. We begin week 4 of a 6-week MOOC tomorrow, and so I can't rest yet. And then, of course, at the end of March, we have TESOL. No, I'm not responsible for it. Thank God. Thank God I am not responsible for it. No, for EVO, I'm going to take like a few months off. Of course, I'm waiting for everybody to fill out their end of session evaluations, surveys, and around February 23rd, I'm going to start to look at those and see if I can make some sense. I hope that we get a really high participation rate on those surveys, because that is how we know if we are doing the right thing. So if you are listening to this at any time, especially before February 23rd, please fill out the survey about your session. And moderators, your surveys are coming up in about a week. And thank you, Vance, for such kind words. Yes, it was a very overwhelming and kind of daunting experience at times, but the learning curve has been huge for me. I can't begin to tell you how much I have learned. It's a different kind of learning from the EVO learning I usually do, which is as a participant. And, you know, it was also really worthwhile and wonderful to be able to do it. And I feel blessed to have had this experience. And yes, I'm kind of looking forward to doing it one more time for 2015. I think we all need to leave now for Vance to be able to close things down. So again, thank you everybody for being here and for sharing your experience. If you were able to share it in the chat or with your voice, however you did it, and we'll see you next year.
Well, I've kind of lost my, I came back to the living room, so, but anyway, I heard you say you're going to do this another year. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so that will be great.
Well, actually, nobody's asked me, but when I was asked originally, I was given to understand that it was a 2-year deal. So I didn't know I had a choice.
No one will dissuade you, don't worry. So anyway, you're doing a good job, and it'll be great. You'll do it. I can't imagine even better next time, probably, because at least you've
I think it's going to be a lot easier the second time around.
That's great. Okay.
At least now I know where everything is.
Yeah.
And I know sort of what needs to be done and when.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway.
So if anybody's going to be at the TESOL conference, I hope to see you face to face there. I will be there. Vance will be there, and we will be spending a lot of time in the electronic village offline, as it should be known now, the other EVO.
Okay.
So come by and say hello.
It does have the only internet connection at the conference, so mostly it's online. Anyway, okay. Nice to see you, and bye-bye. Thanks for everyone for coming out.
I think we all have to get out for Vance to shut everything down, right, Vance?
Yeah, well, I'll stop the recording. The recording is going off right now, and it's recording. That's a good sign. Okay, there we go. Bye-bye, everybody.